Hey y'all, so today I thought I'd make another video. I do plan on making a vlog sometime soon. I just gotta find a day where I'm not working, where I can go and do some shit that'd be exciting for y'all to watch. But right now I'm gonna make a video, gonna do a little bit of a review. Grizzly Long Cut Mint. So I've had this stuff before and I've had a few pinches from this can. And yeah, so let's just get right to it. Pack is fatty, and I don't know, I guess I'll get talking, tell y'all a bit of a story or something. Yeah. Decent pinch. We gotta go for a filler. Alright, so I think today I'm gonna give y'all a bit of a rundown on my history of nicotine use. So it's a little bit of a serious topic, just because there are a lot of minors who are out there using this shit. Not necessarily dip, but I was definitely one of them. And so yeah, hopefully my story, if you're under 18, will convince you not to start. Yeah, keep watching, y'all. Alright, so the first time I ever used any tobacco related product was way before I even started making YouTube videos. I was 11 years old, and I know that's stupid young to be doing this kind of shit. So I was out skateboarding with a few friends. Those of y'all that used to watch my YouTube channel back in the day know that I used to upload tons of skateboarding content, and I used to, I would spend all day skateboarding when I was younger. And I mean, I kind of fell out of that. I'm not really that, I never really got too good at it. I got an injury a few years ago and never fully recovered from it. My skating just kept going downhill. So I just didn't really see the point to keep going. And I was working every day, so it'd be dark by the time I got off work. So I'd just be skating out by a street light. I couldn't really film nothing. So yeah, that's kind of why I stopped skateboarding. But so I had a cigarette when I was 11 years old. I was hanging out with a friend. We were, at this point I just knew how to ollie, and we were skating together. He went to take a piss back in the woods, and he came back a few minutes later. He was, "Hey man, come over here." A little bit weird. He pulls out this pack of Cool menthols. Cool with a K, that's a cigarette brand. And at the time I thought, what the hell, what's one cigarette gonna hurt? So I smoked it, and I got a little bit of a buzz, and I don't know, but I honestly don't even remember it that well. What I do remember is for years after, I would go around skateboarding around or driving around whenever I could drive, and I'd pick up little cigarette butts. I wouldn't smoke the butts, because that's fucking nasty. I mean, what I ended up doing was still pretty nasty. But I would take out the tobacco, make a little pipe out of a soda can, and I would smoke it. And after a little while, I was in so I think this was around my freshman year of high school. I'd be just skateboarding everywhere that I could, just looking for cigarette butts, cigar butts, even those like backwoods butts, the little cheap ass cigars with the wooden tips. And yeah, so I did that for a number of years. And so after a few years of doing that, I really started to feel pretty shitty in my lungs. So when I was 16, about to turn 17, I got my first vape. And it was this little shitty thing with a tiny ass little tank. The coils burned out on it like every 2 days. And I love that thing. And so over the course of like the next 2 years or so, I started buying more vapes. So all in all, I had this little tiny stick one. It was like the Shot brand. And I had a Vaporesso Terrat Nano. And then from there I bought the Smoke Alien. My friend gave me his Smoke G150. And then I had a Vupu Drag for a few months. And I still have them, I just don't really use them. And I'd be using them in high school. I'm going in the bathrooms and taking drags off of it, holding it in, and then exhaling it so it wasn't very noticeable. And some kids in my class got caught several times. Several different kids got caught. So my school went on a huge anti-vaping campaign. If you got caught with any kind of nicotine or tobacco related product, you would be basically suspended for the rest of the year. So I picked me up one of these motherfuckers, and I still use it to this day, not as much, just because these little fucking things, so fucking expensive. When I would use that thing every day, I would go through one of those pods in a single day. And so that's an insane amount of nicotine if you don't know. That's equivalent to about a pack of cigarettes. And so to buy a pack of pods, they're $20 and you get 4 of them. So you can imagine that shit added up really quickly. So by this time, I just turned 18. I went into the vape shop on my 18th birthday, bought my first legal vape products, and I dropped $20 on a pack of menthol pods, and I thought they were okay. And so I walked over to the Kroger, who was nearby. It's not around anymore, and they had lots of dip just on sale because, well, they were closing down. And I knew people who dipped, who chewed, and a lot of my family dips. So I decided to pick me up a can. It was a Grizzly Dark Wintergreen. That's not what this is. This is Grizzly Mint. And so on my 18th birthday, me, my dad, and my buddy, we went shooting. And then we went over to my buddy's house, and I packed my first dip. Let me tell you, that was so amazing. Just feeling that big old bulge in your lip and just getting a nice buzz off of it. And from there, I've been dipping pretty much every day. At this point, I go through about a can a day, but that's still significantly cheaper than what a jewel pod would be. A can of Grizzly is about $4 for a can, but if I want to get Copenhagen Wintergreen, which is my favorite dip, it's $2.70 for a can. And that is a million times cheaper. But yeah, so I've basically been on this shit since I was 11 years old. and I do not recommend it to anyone who is not already on it, just because it is very habit forming, and honestly I get so pissed off if I do not have it. But if you do use nicotine products, I'd recommend going for dip, just because it's cheaper. It's not necessarily cleaner because you do gotta spit, and if you don't brush your teeth, you end up looking really fucking nasty. But overall, it's cheaper. I think it's a hell of a lot healthier than actually inhaling anything. And overall, I do feel better now that I've switched over to dip, mostly. Because for a good number of years, I felt really shitty in my lungs. And like to this day, I cannot breathe right. And like when I was a little kid, I had asthma. I started swim team when I was really young, so I kind of overcame that. But I think smoking would bring that shit back. And I'll be honest with y'all, I've smoked a few cigarettes, well, actually a lot of cigarettes, over the last few months. But my girlfriend is making me quit, and I'm actually really thankful to her for that. But all in all, dip, way better than smoking, way better than this expensive piece of shit. So yeah, if you already use nicotine, use dip. And yeah, alright, so now to give you all my impressions of this. Okay, so I had this on bitch in for about 20-30 minutes, and it's staying together pretty well. The long cut on Grizzly is really nice. It just, you can pinch it so easy. Get you all a little bit of a view of that. Now, I'm not a big fan of fine cuts. I've had a can of Copenhagen snuff before, and I mean, I liked it. It had a really good buzz to it, especially if you packed a good old horseshoe around your lip. But it was just hard to keep together after about 15 minutes. It was just fucking everywhere in my mouth. Looked like I had shit all over my lips. Like literally looked like I had shit on my lips. And so yeah, and the flavor, it's pretty long lasting. I'm about 30 minutes into just this one dip, and it still tastes like I just put it in. It's not diminishing at all. The buzz, I mean, it's like any kind of Grizzly buzz. It's a little bit stronger than Copenhagen, but it's a good mellow buzz for, I guess, kind of a chill day where you're not really doing anything strenuous. So yeah, I do recommend Grizzly Mint Long Cut. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's pretty good. So yeah, thanks for watching, y'all.